Destiny 2 YouTubers that quit the game, Part 2. Up first...
What's a poppin' up in YouTube? Rifle Gaming here!
Rifle Gaming is a YouTuber that has been around for a long time on the platform, starting out posting a variety of games from Halo Reach to Skyrim, and earned over 100,000 subscribers before Destiny 1 even released. But when it did, his channel exploded. From guides to glitches and loot videos, Rifle was one of the biggest Destiny YouTubers during year 1 and 2 of the game. Now he became much more of a variety channel post-Taken King, but did continue to post a lot of Destiny content during new releases like the April update and Age of Triumph. Now this same level of consistent Destiny content did continue with Destiny 2's beta and the first few months of the game's launch. But with the amount of controversies surrounding the state of D2 at the time, Rifle would make several videos critiquing the game and ultimately leave Destiny 2 behind just a few weeks after Curse of Osiris launched. And while he did make a few D2 videos during the Forsaken era, he's ultimately found a lot more success with variety content.
Hey, what's going on? Blessious here, and today I'm going to be showing you something in Destiny 2 that I absolutely freaking love.
Blessious began as a Destiny creator during the Taken King era doing weapon reviews and discussion videos. He grew his channel pretty quickly thanks to his charisma and presence on camera, and overall being a very likable person. And he continued this style of content well into Destiny 2, and did various charity streams that led to some interesting outcomes. But during Shadowkeep's Year of Seasons in 2020, Blessious began posting much less often, and would address the reason to his fans that it was to pursue a career in voice acting. And from then on would become much more of a variety channel with the occasional Destiny 2 upload, while he chased his voice acting dream. And it appeared he's been preoccupied with that goal, as his last upload was over 6 months ago.
Guardian, would you like an engram that actually rewarded you with something that you don't have?
C-Day first began as a Destiny 1 YouTuber whose content was centered around challenges inside Trials of Osiris, most notably his 1v3 Trials cards. For years he continued to impress with his Destiny gameplay, and that continued into Destiny 2. However, shortly into the game's lifecycle, he began to post less content for Destiny 2 and began sprinkling in Fortnite content, specifically during the Curse of Osiris days, and during the months of January and February 2018, would begin the transition of his channel from Destiny to Fortnite. His final Destiny video would be titled Destiny 2's Cooler Older Brother, in which he went back to Destiny 1 and did a few live comms in the game's Crucible. And since then, he's found tons of success with Fortnite content, growing his channel to over 7 million subscribers, and only posts very occasionally, with his most recent video being over 5 months ago.
Hey everybody, it's your buddy Beard Grizzly, and I have to stop you right there.
Beard Grizzly was a Destiny lore channel that began making content during Rise of Iron in D1. His approach to the lore had a much more scholarly vibe to it, kind of like Sir Wallen, and it quickly became one of my favorite channels to watch at the time. Grizzly focused on lore content for the next several years, and became one of the most knowledgeable channels on Destiny's lore, and even kept his own personal journals filled with notes about it. However, during Shadowkeep's year, and with lore entries like The Unveiling and Truth to Power, Grizzly became a bit critical of Destiny's lore writing, and in the coming months would leave Destiny 2 behind and focus on other games, creating lore content for games like Doom and Remnant from the Ashes, and more Let's Play style content for Animal Crossing. But in October of 2020, Beard Grizzly would post his last video to YouTube. And this is one of the saddest losses in the community to me because I loved his lore content on the game. But certainly, it's understandable to leave Destiny and YouTube behind.
Hey Andrew.
Yeah?
It doesn't make any sense. It says the last Guardian standing.
What?
That's upsetting.
Andrew JRT began their channel during the first few months of Destiny 1, and quickly gained popularity with their Clueless Guardian series and other funny moment style content. The shenanigans continued over the years in D1, though other games were sprinkled in, most notably Overwatch, and it wasn't long until Overwatch content began overtaking the Destiny content by a larger margin. And when Destiny 2 released, only a handful of videos would be made on it before Andrew JRT fully pursued Overwatch and other gaming content and grew their channel substantially in the process.
YouTube, my name is Mesa Sean, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video.
Mesa Sean began not as a Destiny channel, but as a guitar playing and guitar reviewing channel with a love for Metallica. A couple years later, however, began posting gaming content with a slew of Killzone Shadowfall gameplays, finding mild success. And then, Destiny 1's alpha launched, and Sean would upload a few gameplays for the time being, before switching back over to Killzone. But with the release of the Destiny beta, he would go back and forth between posting Destiny and Killzone content, and finally made the switch to strictly Destiny content upon its full release, posting gameplays and guides for the game daily, and found a lot of growth because of the switch. It wasn't long until he joined up with the Planet Destiny crew to create content for their channel, which in turn provided more growth to his own. Mesa Sean became one of the most consistent content creators for Destiny, never slowing down on guides, reviews, news, and discussion videos. For 7 years, Mesa Sean kept at it, well into Destiny 2, growing to over 300,000 subscribers, until August 2021, in which Mesa Sean would announce that he had been offered his dream job in medical device sales, posting in a twit longer that he was made an offer he could not refuse. The result? Leaving his YouTube channel behind to focus on his new career. A choice I totally respect, but can't deny it was sad to see him leave.
Ladies and gents, my name is Xander, aka Deicide, and in this video, we're going to discuss how the not forgotten 2-tap is back, baby, using one beauty, and that is the Posterity hand cannon and Destiny 2 Beyond Light.
Deicide created weapon reviews for Destiny starting back in Destiny 1, and continued well into Destiny 2. And he found decent success, growing his channel to over 50,000 subscribers. But in January 2021, Deicide would announce that he would be quitting Destiny 2 on the channel, not because he didn't like the game or making content for it, but because he wasn't seeing growth on the channel anymore, and would attribute that to Destiny content in particular. He wanted to continue to grow his channel, and saw Destiny as a hindrance to his growth, and would pursue covering other FPS games from then on, which would be Call of Duty and Splitgate. However, unfortunately for Deicide, his channel did not see the growth he was hoping for by covering these other games, and a little over a year later, would post his final Call of Duty video in early 2022.
It's so good. There we go.
Try to yo.
You always get it to sleep.
If you die, nice.
Nice, sleeping.
10 seconds.
What are you doing? Look at him! I'm done.
Yo, please.
Oh
I can't breathe.
RealKraftyy grew his Twitch channel during the Destiny 1 days with the popularity of Trials of Osiris, and was known as one of the best Trials players at the time. He continued to grow throughout Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 Trials content, but would begin taking multiple large breaks from Destiny 2 due to the state of Trials and PvP. And this became an opportunity to pursue content creation and streaming for other games like Fortnite and Apex Legends, which he did, with streamers like Dr. Disrespect, which grew his Twitch channel substantially and currently sits at around 678,000 followers. In recent months, RealKraftyy has focused on streaming Overwatch 2, as well as a few other games, with just the occasional Destiny 2 stream sprinkled in.
Welcome back! My name is Ben and sometimes Dagon, and you're watching Sweat Tactics. Hey, that sounds a little gross, Dagon, tell us more. Oh, sure. It's a new series that highlights some of the most formidable subclass builds used in the fiery crucible.
Mighty Ben started out as a Call of Duty creator, but with the release of Destiny really began to grow thanks to his impressive gameplays and goofy commentary. But shortly after Destiny 2 launched, would begin sharing some concerns and worries surrounding the changes that had been made to the game, specifically weapon changes and movement nerfs, which really hindered his gameplay style that he was known for during Destiny 1. And just a few months after D2 launched, would leave the game behind to cover Fortnite and later Apex Legends, before returning to Destiny 2 just shortly before Beyond Light's launch. Ben would continue to post D2 gameplays and clips on occasion throughout the Beyond Light year, but went completely silent before the Witch Queen dropped, and has posted just one short highlight clip since it's been released.
Okay, I need space. Too many blueskis. Move! Oh. Oh my god! That wasn't me. That was you, game. Oh, he's gonna be confused for like weeks.
What's going on, guys? My name is Paul, but you guys can call me Cruiser. Welcome back to a brand new Destiny 2 video. Quickly before the video begins, seriously, again, I gotta say thank you guys so much. Yesterday we got 2,000 subscribers. We're getting like 2,000 subscribers today. It's actually insane. So I want to say thank you guys so much for the support. This is daily upload number 13.
Cruiser was once a Destiny PvP channel that began back in Destiny 1, where he uploaded impressive gameplays with quality editing. But over the course of Destiny 2's life, Cruiser has taken several breaks from D2, sharing frustrations with the state of the game at different times. After several large breaks from Destiny and covering other games, he returned during the Beyond Light year, but shortly after the Witch Queen's launch, would post his final Destiny 2 video and switch to Valorant content very briefly, but has not posted in over 5 months.
Welcome to Fireteam Chat, IGN's Destiny show. Thank you so much for joining us today. It is a post-E3 Fireteam Chat, and joining me on the show today is CJ Gibson.
What's up?
Fran Mirabella.
Hey, Guardians.
And Stev Rue.
Fireteam Chat was IGN's Destiny podcast that began during Destiny 1 and continued well into Destiny 2 with over 300 episodes. Hosted by Destin Legary, this podcast was one of the most popular Destiny podcasts that had a very dedicated fan base. But during Season of the Splicer in Destiny 2, Fireteam Chat would post their final episode, an end of a 7-year running podcast. Fireteam Chat returned one final time a few months later and received a lot of praise from fans, but it's been well over a year since then, so Fireteam Chat is likely being left behind.